And one of the reasons why I even choose to speak up about it now is because, like I said, I didn't want anyone to know. I wasn't ready to sit here and talk about this. When this came out, the person that called me was a family friend, and what she was speaking, it made it seem like she knew what happened. So I felt a little comfortable telling her, but I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know I was gonna wake up to my voice all over social media. I didn't sit here and ask for this. I kept that shit to myself for years because I know how it is. Like, people speak up, and the first thing is I'm looking in the comments, it's like, yeah, I'm gay, but that don't mean that's the right for me to be molested or
It's not.
raped by somebody. Like,
It, it's not. It didn't give him any right to rape you. And I'm so sorry you went through that as a child. I'm
and
so sorry.
my thing about it, while I'm speaking, even more while I'm speaking about it now, is because with that recording that's sent out against, because I did not sit there and know that she was recording me. So with that recording and everybody coming up with their own assumptions and dragging my sister and my mother in it, and it's just like, my mother really ain't know. The same people that he just paid to go see my grandmother didn't know until yesterday. I
Wow.
begged my mother not to say nothing because I didn't want to go through this. I'm a very quiet and reserved person, and this is a lot of attention for no reason. And not for no reason, but it's just like, I refuse to sit there and have what was done to me twist and turn and chopped and screwed when that wasn't how it is. He know exactly what he did. And it's like, if he's doing it to other people, why is it so hard to believe that this is something that he did? Like, at the time, he was using my mother for money, so he kept her close. So he was making sure he was in her ear.
I want you to say that, just that one line again. He was using your mother for what?
He was using my mother for money. When she stopped sending the money, he got irritated. And that's around the same time where he was sitting there blasting and
Because
going off. Like,
that's what he goes around and do to people. He did the
and
same thing to me. Use you
nobody
for
can't,
money, and when
anybody
you
that know
realize
me,
that he's a liar and he's a manipulator and he's trying to use you, then
any
he wants to tarnish you. When he can't have his way with you, he try to tear you down.
and anybody that know me, I didn't do this. I'm not doing this for no recognition or no money. If that's the case, I would have did this when it happened. Everybody that know the family that I come from, my mother got money. My mother loaded. Same reason why he wanted to be around her. The same reason why he wanted to sit there and be close. I just don't like how it was approached because I feel like if that same person that recorded me would have just pulled me aside and called me and be like, yo, so he did this to a few other people. Like, you feel like you're ready to speak about it? Let me decide what I want to talk about. It's my pain. It's my trauma.
So you kept that pain and you didn't talk about it. It was
No.
until that the recording that
The
I
rec-
played with the person
yeah.
that
It's not,
that you didn't know.
I woke up and I seen the recording all over and people DMing me and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, where this coming from? And this is exactly why most people don't get up and talk about certain stuff that they go through because it's always like, you can't put a time when somebody's going to speak up on their trauma and when they was hurt, when they was put in a position where they, bro, like, and then knowing that you gay on top of it, ain't nobody gonna believe you. Ain't nobody gonna sit there. Like, it took me a time to tell my mother, and it was a process because first I had to come out and tell her that I was gay. And I
What
did
does
that
your
because I couldn't live with knowing that certain, I don't like when things are used or held above me. Like, I understand what everybody was trying to do with the recordings and stuff like that. I just felt like I should have had the space to properly be able to do this and explain what it was because I wasn't ready. This recording surfaced months ago. I've been blocking and removing people from my page because my peace is getting disrupted. I had to move. I moved from New York to Florida. When this recording came out, it was in Florida, and when I figured out, somebody mentioned that he lives in Florida. Where you think I'm at now? I moved. The whole point is to stay away from this man, to stay off his radar. I have him blocked on everything for a reason.
What
So it's
has
like,
your life been like after he did that to you? Why do you keep moving? Are you still afraid of him?
I
Because
mean, I
I'm
found
here to
out
tell
he
you.
was,
Let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you there's nothing to be afraid of. He's a liar. He's a scammer. He ain't no fucking Obia man. Him can't do
and
nothing. He's not talking to no spirit. There's
now,
one God. Do
now
not
that
let him
I'm,
put no fear into you.
now that I'm
Don't make
older,
him put no fear into you.
I realize what you're saying, but when I was younger and him prophesizing certain things and predicting certain things or being right with certain things,
He didn't
it's it
predict it,
made
did he?
me it
Did
made
he
me
predict
feel
that
as
you are
though
going to get the strength one day to come out and talk
I
your truth? Did he
don't
predict this?
think I don't think he ever thought that I would have came out and said
Okay.
something.
Don't let him tell you him can predict nothing because him couldn't predict him own future. Him never predicts when him come out on social media and try to go up against me that all of this would have come back around at his footstep. Him never predict this. He used what he, because let me tell you something. I met that man as a pastor. I tell people this already and I don't know if they believe me. Meet him as a Pastor Smith. And he came around me and him try to manipulate people's mind. All of the people that is picking up for him is because the same thing he did to you, he's doing to them, which is telling them things and they believe it. Say, oh, him a prophet, him can see things I seen in the future. I'm a spirit. Him a over man, then I want him over me, so them a pick up for him. He uses that as his power. Don't make him make you feel like say, if him did a pray to some spirit, what make the spirit can't do nothing for him? Don't make him put no fear in a yeah, move up and down and afraid and him can't do nothing to you. God is above mankind. You hear me?
Yeah.
I've
This is
never been, yo, I'm telling you, say,
this people just gotta understand sometimes when it comes to certain things like this, it's a lot more that comes to it than just speaking out. It's the embarrassment that comes with it. It's the shame. It's the
I
hate
know.
comments. It's people sitting there telling that you lying. Like,
Let
I
me tell you
don't
something. I don't know you. I can see the hurt in your eyes. I can see the embarrassment, but there's nothing to be ashamed of because you were great molested as a child. It was something that was taken from you. It's no, you didn't have control of it. It was nothing that you did to yourself. But now that you're older and now that you're wiser, now that you're a man, you know what I'm saying? Now you're speaking your truth and you're living in your truth. Don't stay home and make nobody make you sad and depressed. This is your truth. This is your story. So I'm happy that you were willing to tell your story for yourself. The only thing I'm sorry that you didn't report it because people like that deserve to be off the streets.
if I would have sat there and reported it, my whole family would have found out and it would have been based sad to say, and it's not a bash against my family, but they really do look at how they're viewed. So not only would it put me on the spotlight, but it would have put a spotlight on my family too.
Wow.
Literally, my
It's
grandmother
not,
didn't find out this until yesterday. The only person that knew was my mom, and the same person that recorded it, me and my mom. Was my mom's friend, and I really thought we were. For me to sit there and open up to her about that, I thought we was on a different level. You know, I didn't expect for this to happen. I wasn't. This was not
I'm proud
an end
I'm
goal for
proud
me.
of your big up to your mom because I'm proud of your mom for supporting you. Like for you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. From I told her, she's made it easier living with that because it's easier to relate.
I feel like you still should report it. I feel like if you put it into the law's hand, they will be able to pull the footage from that hotel. I
And
feel like you
that's the
should still be
thing.
able
That's
to
the thing.
report it.
Like these simple things like that, footage, camera, all of that, like all of that can be pulled up. And
Yes.
it's shame that I don't have my other like the phone that I had back then. I don't have it no more. So even the messages between us and stuff like that,
The phone company can
it's
get back the
everything.
message that
It's
the
there. This is
all
not
of what
something
you're
that's just.
saying, all of what you're saying, you may not be able to get it back, but once you start that case, everything will come full circle. The police have a way of finding everything. That's not even your worry. Your worry is to make that first move of reporting it.